Joe, you can't shine Donald Trump's shoes. He was and is a leader and showed us the meaning of peace through strength. In your head, you actually expected the world to applaud you for ending the longest war in American history. You were teed off because you thought that September 11th would be about you. In part, Joe, you're right. Because going forward, any assault on any American, in the homeland or around the world, will be due to you and your ineptitude. The world is a less safe place today than it was the day Joe Biden took office. That's because Biden is non-transparent, is blatantly dishonest, and is literally dangerous. Biden prioritizes Afghans with no connection to the United States and no vetting over American citizens. In fact, 100 Afghan evacuees are being investigated for possible ties to terrorism. The world watches as Biden, according to reports, flies Afghan men into states like Wisconsin. Joe Biden has literally given a terrorist organization their own nation. Not only that, we armed them to accomplish their mission. As he tries to sell us lie after lie, the American people are seeing right through it. In fact, 51% aren't buying it. His approval rating continues to go down. Right now, 43% is the lowest in his presidency, and 60% disapprove of his handling of Afghanistan. You see, Joe, we're smarter than you and your minions think we are. You've been lying for months about Afghanistan, about your exit non-strategy, about your non-decisions, about what your military chiefs have told you or not told you. It's all lies, and dangerous ones at that. You are no longer the commander-in-chief. You are the liar-in-chief. You spew lies as truth and then turn and bobble away, incapable of answering questions. Instead, you send out your puppets on a string to take fake umbrage and double down on your lies. Joe, your behavior is not only a dereliction of duty and your sworn oath to protect and defend the Constitution and the people of the United States. You have aided and abetted the enemy that we fought for 20 years with American blood and treasure. While you try to restrict our Second Amendment gun rights in the homeland, you leave the enemy with billions of dollars of the most sophisticated military equipment in the world. You vacated Bagram Air Base, a secure facility from which Americans and our allies could be evacuated, and instead allowed the Taliban to release their so-called enemies, ISIS-K, causing our military to be sitting ducks for an attack at the Kabul airport, and 13 service members to be ultimately returned home in caskets because you had the enemy controlling what little perimeter there was. And your cold, unconcerned boredom as you repeatedly look at your watch as those caskets were placed on the tarmac was a disgusting display of your animus and your inability to feel for anyone but yourself. And you talked about yourself to shocked and grieved parents, and you have the gall to actually call the exit an extraordinary success?
As we close 20 years of war and strife and pain and sacrifice, it's time to look at the future, not the past. The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals.
Liar. For the 18 months before your chaotic, incoherent entrance onto the world stage, not one American was touched, not one American harmed or threatened in any way, because they knew Donald Trump would respond.
For 18 months, not one American soldier was killed, not one. 18 months, and that was because of the agreement. We had a very strong agreement. It was conditions-based. Now, there were many other parts of the agreement also, and if they violated them, you know that, we went in and bombed the hell out of them.
Joe, you can't shine Donald Trump's shoes. He was and is a leader and showed us the meaning of peace through strength. You caused chaos through incompetence. You didn't have the spine, the brains, or the capacity to know what you were doing. Joe, I think it's time for you to go back to the basement where Jill can walk you around and tell you where you are and what to do. You botch everything. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're not only a liar, since this was the biggest disaster in American military history, you are a weak, feckless individual whose catastrophic betrayal of America and American families demand impeachment, resignation, and a court-martial. And here's another lie.
Will not conduct a hasty rush to the exit. We'll do it responsibly, deliberately, and safely. If there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out. Any American who wants to come home, we will get you home.
Liar. How dare you put Americans in the hands of Taliban and ISIS? How dare you allow empty planes to fly back to America? How dare you not have the military search for Americans like other countries did? How dare you have your State Department threaten private organizations and a network of veterans of real Americans who are trying to return Americans and our Afghan allies home?
Multiple attempts to State Department and the Department of Defense have basically been brushed off. They are not interested in our lists of U.S. citizens who are trying to get in. They were not interested in our list of U.S. green card holders.
We haven't had any contact with them since, and I believe it's because they were caught up in that.
So you don't know who shut you down from landing?
I don't know I don't know who shut us down, but I think it was 100% directed from the State Department.
Joe, are you really an American? I don't know of any leader from local town council and up who would leave Americans behind and bring in unvetted Afghans in violation of our laws. Are you delusional? In your head, you actually expected the world to applaud you for ending the longest war in American history. You were teed off because you thought that September 11th would be about you. In part, Joe, you're right. Because going forward, any assault on any American in the homeland or around the world will be due to you and your ineptitude. And that's my open.